morning, grade 4s. My name is Jody. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today, we are going to be working on inverse operations. So just before we start, I want to talk about what the word inverse means. So inverse is almost a fancy mathematical term for opposite. So an opposite operation, remember operation in maths is plus, minus, times or divide. So inverse operations means opposite signs. Let's have a look. So what is an inverse operation? An inverse operation is an operation that is the opposite of the original. So plus and minus. As we can see, when you work with the inverse, it is the same as working from the opposite direction. So 2 plus 3 would give us 5, and then if we take 5 minus 3, it gives us 2. So the inverse of subtraction is addition, so the opposite of minus is plus, and the inverse of plus is minus. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Right, let's have a look. So let's use the correct symbol to complete the following calculations. So we have 25 and we have 8. How do we make 33? One way I know is that 33 is bigger than 25, so it means I need to add something to 25 to get to 33. The number that I add is 8, so I need to write a plus sign. Then the next one we have 65 and 20 gives us 45. So 65 and 45. 45 is smaller than 65, so it means I need to take away from 65. So we say minus 20. Let's try 46 and 9. So we've got to take 46 and 9 and make 55. Let's compare 55 with 46. 55 is greater than 46, so we need to add some more to it, so we write a plus sign. And then when we take 66 and 9 and we need to make 57, we compare 57 with 66, it is smaller than, so we need to minus 9. Now remember, let's just have a look at this last sum. The 66 minus 9 is 57. We can write this inversely in the opposite direction. We can take 57 and a 9 gives us 66. But in order to do that, we need to change to the inverse operation. So we need to make this a plus. Let's write 57 a bit neater. So 57 plus 9 gives us 66. Right, let's move on. So let's use the given addition sum to make the inverse subtraction number sentence. So we take 97 plus 1 equals 98. So we swap the sides, we say 98 and 97 equals and a 1. So now we just need to change the sign to a minus. Another way we can do it is we start off with the sign being changed to the opposite. So 28 plus 9, we make it minus 9. And then we need to decide where does the 37 go and where does the 28 go. It needs to be 37 minus 9, which gives us 28. Right. Now we have 61 plus 11 equals 72. We swap sides, we say 72, 61, equal sign, and 11. Now all we have to do is change our sign to the opposite. We make it 72 minus 11, which gives us 61. Right, and last up, we have a 50 and a 43 with a plus. Let's change it first up to a minus. Swap the sides, 50 and 43. This needs to be 7. So 50 minus 7 equals 43. So as you'll see, we've used all the same numbers, just in a different order. There's our 43 and there's our 50. Here's our 7. Right, let's move on. Let's use the given subtraction calculation to make the inverse addition. So now we're just doing opposites again. We're starting with minus and we're going to make it plus and swap the numbers around. Let's have a look. So we have 67 minus 1 is 66. So we change it to 66 and 67. And we have 1 equals. What's our sign that we need? We need a plus. So 66 plus 1 is 67. With 79 minus 9, we can make it plus 9. And then we decide between 70 and 79. So 70 plus 9 gives us 79. Next up, we have 56 minus 6 equals 50. So we say plus 6 equals, we put our bigger number over here, 56, and our smaller number, 50. So 50 plus 6 gives us 56. And our last one, 112 plus 8 gives us 120. So remember, whenever you are doing inverse operations, if you're swapping the numbers, you also need to swap your signs. So now we can use inverse operations to actually check ourselves when we do a calculation. So if you are sure that 12 minus 4 is 8, you can just check yourself by saying, is 8 plus 4 12? And if it is, then you've checked yourself using the inverse operation. Let's try that. So let's calculate the answers to these longer number sentences, and then we use the inverse operation to check the answer. So we can start with 9,145, let's use column method, plus 3,698. What is our answer over here? So we have 5 plus 8, which gives us 13, put our 3 down, carry our 1. Then we have 4 plus 9, which is also 13, don't forget the 1 that we carried. 14, carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus the 1 that we carried, which is 8. And last up, 9 plus 3, nowhere to carry it, we write 12. So our answer is 12,843. So now we are going to use the inverse operation to check if we got the correct answer. So we take the 12,843, we change to the inverse operation, minus, and then we say minus 3,698. You can use either or. You can minus this number or this one. Let's see what our answer is. So we have 3 minus 8, which we can't do. We borrow. We make this a 3, and we make this a 1. So 13 minus 8, which is 5. 3 minus 9, we can't do. We make this a 7, make this a 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 7 minus 6 gives us 1. 2 minus 3 we can't do. We borrow. We make this a 12. 12 minus 3 gives us 9. So now we have a look at our actual answer. 9,145. If you come back to your question, it was 9,145, which means our answer was correct. Right, so we just used the inverse operation to check if we did the sum correctly. We changed the signs, swapped the numbers, and it gave us the initial number we began with. Let's have a look at another example. So now we have 5,482 minus 2,354. Let's do this. So we set up our columns. 5,482. We minus 2,354. 2 minus 4 we cannot do, so we borrow. We make this a 7, make that a 12. 12 minus 4 gives us 8. 7 minus 5 gives us 2. 4 minus 3 gives us 1, and 5 minus 2 gives us 3, which means our answer is 3,128. So now we are going to use the inverse operation and check. So we take 3,128, we plus one of the other the smaller of the other numbers, 2,354. Let's check if we can get back to this original number. So 8 plus 4 gives us 12, put the 2 down, carry the 1. 2 plus 5 gives us 7, remember the 1 that we carried, 8. 1 plus 3 gives us 4, and 3 plus 2 gives us 5, which means our answer is 5,482, which matches this number, means our answer is correct. Right, let's try this one more time. Remember, switch first to the calculation, then switch the numbers around and switch the sign to the opposite sign and check your answer. Let's do this. So we have 9,078 plus 2,147. Let's line these up. 9,000, 0 hundreds, 7 tens, 8 units, plus 2,000s, 100, 4 tens, 7 units. Let's add these up. 8 plus 7 gives us 15, put our 5 down, carry our 1. 7 plus 4 gives us 11, remember our 1, gives us 12, put our 2 down, carry our 1. Now we have 0 plus 1, which gives us 1, plus the 1 that we carried, which is 2, and then 9 plus 2, nowhere to carry your answer, it's 11. So our answer is 11,225. So now we're going to use the inverse operation to check. So we take 11,225. We minus one of the other numbers, let's say 2,147. Let's complete this sum. So 5 minus 7, we can't do that. So we change the 2 into 1 and we carry the 1. So 15 minus 7 gives us 8. 1 minus 4, we cannot do that. So we again borrow from the neighbor, make this 2 a 1 and make this a 11. 11 minus 4 gives us 7. Now we take 1 minus 1, which gives us 0, and 11 minus 2, which gives us 9, which gave us now 9,078, which is our original question. So when we do inverse operations, we can sometimes use the opposite number. Like what we just did now, we chose to minus the 2,147. What happens if I minus the 9,078 instead? So I change this to 11,225 stays the same. We minus 9,078. Let's check our answer. 5 minus 8 we cannot do. We borrow. We make this a 1. We make this a 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. 1 minus 7 we cannot do. We borrow. We make this a 1 and that a 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. 1 minus 0 gives us 1, and 11 minus 9 gives us 2. So our answer is 2,147. We compare it back to original question and we'll see that means this answer is absolutely correct. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Until next time, goodbye.